Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Lucy Mwangi USA. Thank you for joining us for this series. We're talking about parenting in the USA for an African trying to raise an American child. Joining us for this series is my lovely daughter.
It's the child. My name's Veronica, guys. If this is the first video you're watching, check out the others in this series, gain some more information. Come back to this one, you know what I'm saying? I was born and raised here. Not in the South, but born and raised here. 20 going on 21. Well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So today, we've been talking a lot, and like Veronica said, watch the previous videos if you haven't. Lots of information to help you maneuver your way around as a parent, especially as an African. Wow, we need a nap.
Sorry, bro.
Especially
I'm
trying to maneuver your way around, especially as an African, if you don't have any idea about the American systems, especially the school systems, how to raise your kids, the expectations, all of that. I hope you will gain some valuable information from these videos. So in our previous video, we talked about how being in a toxic relationship, a marriage, a girlfriend, boyfriend, or any of that can affect your child, and how it can have long-lasting effects on the mental health of your child. So let's talk about that a little bit. We also said that how Kenyans or Africans don't like to go to therapy, or it's not because they don't like, it's because they feel like they're going to be stigmatized.
Yeah.
Because people think that, they don't want to be dubbed crazy.
I don't know. Nowadays, everybody has a mental illness. Like, at this point, it's really like, especially in America, it's less stigmatized. Like I said, a lot of people nowadays have got a lot going on. So, even the common anxiety a lot of people have, or like, some people feel depressed sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you have depression, actually. You could be depressed, but not have depression. So, like, there's a lot of stuff. People are struggling out here. Like, especially nowadays, people are struggling. So, yeah.
So if you add that to your stress of
my unbeknownst trauma, that's just not a vibe, guys.
So in order to protect ourselves, even as a parent, we endure so much in these relationships that we feel like when we are deep in it, you feel like it's hard. That's how life it should be. Maybe because you haven't been in another relationship, so you don't have anything to compare with. For example, for me, that was the one relationship that I had here when I came to the US, and I stayed with that relationship until he passed away. So I didn't have like another model relationship to compare with. So what I knew is what I knew. So the effects of that for me is a whole lot going on in my head, and that also affected you as a child. So let's talk about some of those things.
Yeah, guys. So I said a little bit in the last video about like so they were like preoccupied a lot, or just you're going to school and stuff, trying to make money to keep the kid alive, you know what I'm saying? But for me, it's more than keeping the kid alive. It's like being present. So it was a lot of it just like I felt like I was the only real shorty in the house. Like, we all lived together, but like there's more times I feel like I was on my own than like like with everybody. Like the happy family vibe was all eat at the table. Like, we didn't do none of that. We didn't eat at the table together. We didn't do like like the white picket fence stuff you be seeing in the movies. But so for me, I was just and you find out things later in life, because you don't know until you get into therapy, and then they kind of like break it down, or you say this happened and then they give you like, oh, this is kind of the stuff you've been through type vibe. So it's called, as they give it a certain thing, it's childhood emotional neglect. That's what it is. But it's not because it's not because like your parents didn't do anything for you. It's just like sometimes there's that one missing component, you know what I mean? There were a lot of components. Like I went to a great school, you know. I got pretty much everything I asked for, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's not the material things, and at the end of the day, that's what
Yeah.
in hindsight, that's what we are learning now, that is kids don't care about that stuff. They do, but they don't. It's not the thing that matters to them ultimately. It's your being present. It's how are you interacting with them as they're growing up. Are you
Yeah.
finding out what they're going through? Like the transition from different grades in school, that is a huge thing as they're going from one
Yeah.
phase of life, growth and development.
Mhm.
Are you walking with them, or are you just going working your doubles and going to school to get your RN, or whatever the heck
Or
you're going
whatever.
to get? And that is important also. Those are important things. But I think what I'm trying to say is, if you have a good foundation in a relationship, and you have supportive
And
partners
teamwork and
and
partnership.
teamwork, and everybody is the
On the
goal
same
is to
page.
bring up the child as a whole, not just okay, now that she's going to a good school, that's it, we are done.
Yeah.
And in our African way, and I know somebody commented under one of my videos and said, what is the African way of raising a kid? So I'll tell you what, when I was growing up, the way our parents showed love, and I know that's a whole conversation, is by providing, making sure there's a roof over your head, doing the things that parents do for their kids. That is how. So like me taking you to this nice school, to me, I felt like that is my way of expressing, buying you stuff, being there, you know, taking you to these activities, making sure that if you want to go for sleepovers, I'm not like restricting you, giving
I
you.
barely went to sleepovers. I don't know what you
No,
mean.
I'm not, like later on in life,
Mhm.
as you grew up, not when you're little, not when
Yeah.
you're little. Later on, when you grew up, you used to go visit your friends and stuff like that. So, but we are finding out that your presence is more important than all the other. You're just walking with your kid as they're growing from one phase of life to the other. Are you aware of what's going on?
Yeah, because in my head, you know, hindsight now later, in my head it's like a kid has nothing. Like they come into the world with nothing. The only world they know is the where they live and the school.
Yeah.
Like they only know school and home, right? So it's like they don't understand that mom goes to work to do such and such. I don't understand that like taxes and I have bills to pay. Like I don't care about none of that. Like kids don't understand that stuff. So you have to be able to figure out a way to let them know some things, but in a way where like a kid can digest. And it's like you've been through all the same stuff that I'm about to go through, but where was the guidance? Like that's that I yeah, it was like no life guidance really is how I see it. Yeah. But I had all the other things. But it's not necessarily like that's bad, but you know, everybody, you guys know, like on TikTok, if you're a me, like, you know, if you're like me, one of the kids, like people like the house, the food, that's a given, you know. That's what you should be doing. That's what every parent is bare minimum. That's bare minimum stuff. Literally, like you don't have to go to a private school. School in general is the bare minimum. That joint is free. Okay, you didn't even have to pay all that money, to be honest. School's kind of free, so you can just go to school. You know, it might not be the best, but you get better social skills, more communicate. Like I don't know. There's so many variables. Everybody is different. Like I'm different than everybody, so it's like I was gonna do my own thing regardless. So yeah, it was just the hindrance of such. But you know, like you just I don't know, like.
So I think that the message is just to be present in your kid's life, just to be aware of what is going on with your child.
Yeah, but more or less not presence, because I said in the last time, like there are single parents, you know, that don't have help. But I think it's the hard work of that, and they explain to their kids. It's all about explaining things. You got to find out how to explain things to kids in a way where they can understand
what is going on
at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if you're just doing things and dragging the kid along, I don't know what's going on. Like, you don't understand a lot of what goes on, or at least I didn't. So like, it's more about explaining. Presence is nice, but it was like, you have to like create a rapport with your kid. Like you guys got to be like best friends.
Well, in Africa, that doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
This is now the contrast that we are trying to see. The differences between the US and Africa is kids back home, the way we were raised is kids are there to be seen and not to be heard. So here in America is different. It's different because kids have you need to share these things with your kids. You need to involve them in
emotional stuff, like
and then emotional stuff.
Like, I've only ever seen you cry once.
When my dad died, maybe.
Once. Like, it's not really about that. It's just like you know, knowing that, being able to reassure that if you're angry, this is why you're angry. That if you're sad, this is why you're sad. Those type of like emotional training. At this point, I have emotional intelligence, but you know, sometimes it triggers me out of whack.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So we gotta keep that
in check.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So it's a whole lot of differences, and the reason why we are doing these videos, and I'll say it again, is not to bash each other as parents. And it's to educate. It is to give insight. It's so that people can learn from other people's examples. So you don't have to wait until your kid is in dire straits, so that you know you need just to be there. Yeah, you need to be there for your kids before it's too late to salvage our kids. So I hope anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just don't wait too long, guys. That 18 John is not it. You got to get out of there quick if you can, guys.
Yeah.
I understand everybody's got different situations.
Yeah.
But if you can leave.
Yeah. This is our opinion, by the way, so don't come out at our necks. This is our opinions. It's our opinion. It's our opinion. This is our experience, and I know some people have like very good marriages and very good relationships that work for them. But if you are in one of those relationships that you're wondering whether you should stay and it's toxic and you're saying, I'm going to stay because of my child.
Don't, bro. Don't do it.
Find a way to...
Like 9 times out of 10, that's the better option.
Yeah, because there's a reason why you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
There are reasons, most likely. There are reasons why you're feeling that way. Mm-hmm. So we'll end this video here. I hope you've gained something from it. I hope that you will continue to put your comments down in the comment section. Let's chat about this. If you are an African and you're going through something like this, let us know, share your stories. The other thing is you can use my email, lucymwangiusa@gmail.com. I have a lot of stories waiting to be published by people. You can be anonymous. If you want to be anonymous, you can be. If you want me to use your name, that's okay. You don't have to. So let's continue sharing these stories. Let's put them out there so that people can know that they're not alone.
Yeah, guys.
Because we're stressing.
Yeah, for real. Stress nation out here.
We are stressing. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Veronica, for joining us on this series.
No problem.
We will continue talking about these issues. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye. Peace. All right, give her a second. All right.
That is not a